right, boys and girls, it is time for NFL Pregame Party, Week 13 Tailgate. Football fanatic friends getting together and talking about some football. And I am fresh back from my trip to my one-day vacation to Dallas to go see my beloved Seahawks in this beloved uniform play in one of the games of the year against the Dallas Cowboys. Made history. Every time I go to Dallas and see the Seahawks and the Cowboys, I see history. Last time I saw Emmitt Smith break the rushing record. I saw Trent Dilfer play his last down in the National Football League as the quarterback of the Seahawks when he blew his Achilles and Matt Hasselbeck took over, and he took the reins after that and never gave him back up. And this time I got to see the first time in NFL history when two teams scored 35 points and never punted the football. Every time it changed hands, it was on a turnover, either on downs or a fumble or an interception, and a score. The punters never saw the field. It was pretty awesome. And I got some stuff to share from you about that, and we've got a lot to talk about when it comes to college football. We had championship weekend, and you know Knox got his stuff for that. So let's get everybody in here. First in today was John. How you doing? Good to see you. I am hyped, man. And I'm not even upset about that game. It was awesome. It was great to see. It was a lot of fun. And I think my boys, what they need to do is they need to take the current logo that looks a little bit meaner than the sad sack Seahawk, right? Put that on the side of those silver helmets and roll. They need to wear that uniform every fucking week. That's just all there is to it. I loved it. It was awesome. And then, of course, we got Knock, who is hyped about giving you his report today, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. How awesome does it have to be to be a punter and not have to do anything?
Not have to do anything. They were
cool.
high priced cheerleaders in that stadium. That's what they were, man. It's pretty damn awesome, man. Before we get started, let's check in and see who's in the chat. We got Keely Chow. Good morning, brother. It's good to see you. And we got Tim. He's here. Yeah. So let's see. Joe's atmosphere and the Seahawks lose. Hey. I didn't think the Seahawks are going anywhere. I'm in the division. It's kind of like being a Denver Broncos fan, like Knock. Doesn't matter what we do. He's in a division with the Chiefs right now. I'm in a division with the 49ers right now. I'm not going anywhere. I'm hoping for a wild card spot. Right, Knock? Isn't that where we're at? You know, that's what we're trying to get to. I mean, you know, shit. I'm hoping to split with the 49ers. That would be my Super Bowl this year. If we can beat the 49ers once, you know what I mean? I'm a realist. I don't think my team's going to the Super Bowl every year. And by the way, if nobody knows this, I think Dallas is on like a 13-game winning streak at home. They're like unstoppable in that stadium, man. But I'll tell you this, and my wife even pointed it out to me during the game. I'll show you guys some of this stuff later on when we got time. But those Cowboys fans, they act like they're at a country club, dude. They don't make noise unless that big ass, by the way, that screen is fucking huge. The television coverage does not do that thing justice. It is huge. But they only yell whenever the fucking screen tells them to. That's the only time they make noise. And there were a lot of Seahawks fans there, and they were getting loud when we were on defense. They really were. They were louder than the Cowboys fans were. It was ridiculous, man. But anyway, Knock. College football championship weekend was yesterday.
Started Friday, but yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the meat of it was yesterday, right?
Well, where we're going to start is on Friday.
Okay.
Where one of the biggest games of the week was the Oregon and Washington game.
You know, I forgot to put that little montage I put at the beginning of it. The odd man out thing, I forgot to put Washington in there. Forgot about that. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of the country did, and analysts were just talking up Oregon. It was all about the Oregon. Bo Nix, Heisman watch, wait until Friday to see what happens. And Washington went up 20-3 at one point, and then Oregon came storming back. But Washington just kept at it. They started taking the clock out and just sustaining drives and just, kept getting ahead of Oregon. So the Washington pulled it out. So they will be most likely the number 2 team when the rankings come out. So good for them. Probably one of the more entertaining games was the CUSA championship, New Mexico State at Liberty. That this was like the Seahawks and Cowboys game.
Really?
No punts. Yeah.
No
I don't know
punts.
if there was I don't know if there was any punts in this game. It was pure scoring. It was 21-21 at the half, and second half they didn't. Liberty, unfortunately, Liberty just kept going though. So New Mexico just could not keep up with them. So Liberty is actually undefeated on the season. They got one more game for the bowl. I will find out today if they did enough to clinch the New Year's Bowl, the New Year's Six Bowl, which one group of 5 team gets. The best group of 5 team gets. It was Tulane, but Tulane lost, which I'll.
You just broke my heart, bro.
Yeah,
damn it.
Tulane,
really?
Yep, Tulane lost. They did, and
the magical ride is over. Damn it.
Yeah. So Liberty is hoping that they'll get in, but they do have to one hurdle, which I'll mention here in a second. But yeah, so that was Friday. Very, very entertaining games on Friday. I thought they were better than the Saturday games, to be honest.
Yeah.
Biggest game probably of the day, Georgia and Alabama. And Georgia just looked flat. It was kind of bad watching them. I don't know if that was Alabama's defense or Georgia's offense just wasn't clicking. I don't know what, but they couldn't stop Milroe. Milroe was running and passing all over him for the most part.
Yeah.
And Georgia scored and we're down by a field goal with a few minutes left, and they couldn't stop Alabama, so they didn't get a chance to get on offense to try to tie it up or win it. So Alabama took that one. So Georgia is number 1 no more. Their 29 game streak or whatever is gone, and so and it just threw the college playoffs in a lot of chaos right now. And then you got Michigan.
Yes, it has, because just before we go any further, I mean, you got the Longhorns, you got Washington, you've got Michigan. Michigan's still undefeated, right?
Yes, Michigan's going to be number 1. There's no doubt about it. Michigan 1, Washington 2. There's no doubt about those 2.
Yeah, and then so the one loss teams are Texas, Alabama, and Georgia, and wow,
and Ohio, but
dude, really,
they're not in it. With no conference. Yeah, there's no conference, so they're
no. Let's see. Killy Chow says roll Tide. We'll see if they're going to roll. We'll see. Daniel says, do the Longhorns get in with the Georgia loss? I don't know, Dan. Seeing as the Big 12 isn't going to be, I think they're probably going to get in. I think it's only going to be one team from the SEC.
Yeah, that's what I think. And I'm going to give my prediction when
we'll talk about it. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, Keely Chow. That was a great game. I was there live. I'll show you some of that stuff later on. But right now, we're in the college right now. Go for it, man.
Michigan at Iowa, useless game, 26-0. Iowa, so glad they're getting rid of divisions next year, because it'll be Michigan, Ohio. But then Washington and Oregon come to town as well, are going to the Big Ten. So hoping there's no more Ohio, Michigan at the end of the year undefeated, and then one's out, and then they're playing some dumb Iowa team that has no offense. So no more of that, at least. And then we had Louisville at Florida State. Louisville's just put a stinker in. Florida State playing with their their true freshmen. They're down to him. They had their backup QB had gone down last week with a concussion, so they held him out for this one, and he did not really anything. But Jack the not snake plumber couldn't do anything. Apparently, Florida State defense showed out. So 16-6 was the final score on that one. I can't imagine. It's just, if Florida State gets in, it's just over Alabama, Texas, and Georgia. It's just a crappy team. I mean, it's not crappy. Their defense is good. It's a defensive championship defense for sure. But that offense, they're not going to compete with anybody. They can't beat any of the top 5 teams.
No.
They probably could even beat Ohio right now.
Well, they're on their third string quarterback, aren't they?
Well, Rodemaker will be back next week, most likely, or not next week, but the week.
By the time
It's
yeah,
weeks
by the
away, so
time
he'll
the
be
playoffs,
back.
yeah.
So it's going to be back to him. The third string did not play well enough to take over that. I don't think anyway. So I don't see how you can say they're the best four. I can't, not with that offense. I think it would be a shit show. I think it would be like Iowa against Michigan. That's literally what it would be. So I just, it's a shame. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the Band Beats, but if they get in, then thank God this 14 thing's going away, because it's a shame.
We'll have a 12-game playoff, which is what they really. I've always said, man, you've got so many bowl games.
Mm-hmm.
You could make a nice playoff out of those bowl games. I mean, really, and nobody loses money from it either. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that would make more people go to the smaller bowls, I would think. You know what I'm saying? If it counts in a playoff, it's going to make people go in droves to these smaller bowls, But anyway, go ahead.
Yep. So Texas took care of business with Oklahoma State, just overwhelmed them. Ewers looked freaking phenomenal. So this is definitely style points for Texas. Absolutely. SMU was the one to upset Tulane. Tulane is now most likely out of the running. But now this is the hurdle that Liberty has now, since SMU is actually, because Liberty did not play any Power 5 teams at all.
Okay.
So their strength of schedule was like in the 130s out of 135, 4 teams or whatever it is.
I got you.
So SMU it might leapfrog them, get into the rankings, and take over that best spot over Tulane and get that New Year's Bowl against whoever they're playing against.
Yeah.
And then Miami, Ohio over Toledo. Toledo had been looking good all year, but Miami just kind of a low scoring game. At one point it was like 10-8. It's kind of weird. And then you got Boise. Boise just ran all over UNLV. I was very happy to see that.
Of course you were.
That was fun. So 44-20 was the final score. And then App State, unfortunately, just got trounced by Troy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Troy.
Luke L is just upset.
I haven't heard from him.
So
that was those were the games. So the one highlight
real quick before you move on, let me get in here real quick. My brother says Michigan, Washington, Alabama, and Longhorns. I guess that's his prediction. And he says, what do you do with FSU undefeated? Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, bud.
All right. So I do have one highlight, and if it was any other team, I would have played them too. If it was this particular play, so you can say bias. I will accept it. It might be true, but that's not the reason I picked it, because it was Boise. So and this was a fun play. So this is UNLV's got like 10 minutes left. They're trying to come back, and this is a play. Watch.
That's a fucking cast.
Excuse me, with the cast. I'm sorry, with the club. I meant club.
Whatever.
Keely Chow says, "Damn."
Yeah, that's what I wanted to show. If it was any team, I would have done it for them too. But I thought that was worth showing. I saw that. I was like, I gotta show that. That's got to be my one show today.
So, who do you think's gonna be? Who are they gonna announce, man? Who's gonna be the 4?
So, let me put this up a little bit here so we can see them all. I mean, Michigan's number 1. That's super
Michigan
easy.
goes. We know
Washington's super easy, number 2. They beat Oregon, which was arguably one of the biggest matches, biggest opponent this,
Well, it was the closest matchup in the championship games. It looks like
whoever won it was,
as far as ranking goes.
Yeah. Whoever won that one was in clear cut. Whoever won it was in. Number 3, God, I mean, it's 3 and 4 is basically 3, 4, and 5. Florida, I mean, 6 too, because if you include Georgia, I mean,
Georgia would have been an instant in, and we'd have been guessing on the last one if they'd have beaten Bama.
And if Florida State had lost, this wouldn't even be a thing. But I don't, because of how the team is, I don't know how you can include Florida State. That offense was nothing. You can't say that offense deserves to go into the playoffs over Texas. You can't say that team, as it stands now, can beat Texas, can beat Alabama, or beat Georgia. I don't
Good
see how
Aaron
you can
Master
say
says,
that.
I hope Texas gets whipped.
And they might, but I feel like they've done enough to earn it.
And Danny says, committee will have a hard time keeping out an undefeated FSU. Yeah.
I mean, I guess so, but I think it would be doing a disservice to the playoffs if they were allowed it, just because of that offense. I don't see them doing what was it, Cardell Jones, 2014, the first year they had it in Ohio State. Had their third stringer, kind of thing. But I just don't see that here. Not after the 2 weeks. We've seen two different quarterbacks, backups, and none of them have done anything crazy.
FSU had won 2 faves in a row with backups.
They beat a Florida team that was, not even bowl eligible, and they beat Louisville that got crushed by Kentucky last week. So I mean, I can't say they're.
So you think the strength of schedule is what's going to go against them,
especially at the end here, and then I think that offense. It's the offense to me. I think the defense is legit, so I feel bad about that. But
me personally, I would have no problem with them putting an SEC team, a one-loss SEC team, in over FSU. I'd have no problem.
And that would if that's the case, it would have to be Alabama. But you can't. And here's the thing with the Texas and Alabama thing: you can't put Alabama. You could, but you shouldn't put Alabama over Texas. Texas beat them, by double digits.
That's right.
And if you say, well, Alabama is different than it was back in September, okay, well then why do you schedule? Why would the scheduling? And I've heard this. I think it might have been Kirk Herbstreit that mentioned. I can't remember. It was I was watching the show yesterday, ESPN, and they were saying, why would these guys schedule early games if they're not going to matter?
Yeah.
Why would you have any big games at the beginning of the season, at the start of the season, if they're just not going to matter in a couple months? What's the point of them? It would just be all crap games for the first 6 weeks and nothing special because the committee say, hey, this game doesn't matter,
right?
Because it's not the same Alabama team. None of these teams are the same.
Yeah.
Texas was that game against Oklahoma State was Texas, in my opinion, their best game of the season. Ewers was
and Oklahoma State beat us. So yeah, I mean they were. It was the 2 best teams in the Big 12 championship. It was, and they beat them. So
homecoming is later on in the season. Homecoming is more like October, November, I think. I don't think September are the homecoming games.
No,
if I'm reading that correctly.
But anyway, let's hang on. Let me catch up.
So
this. Admiral Teague says, "Great Jets news. They're moving to London." Let's see. Gridiron Master says playoff by committee is kind of odd anyway. It's subject to no one knows what to do other than not lose. Imagine the NFL having some closed group that decides who goes. Yeah, that would be horrible. We're doing NCAA. If James Madison doesn't win it all, it's fixed.
No, they lost. They're not undefeated anymore.
And the big games are early. Early are homecoming, right? Early, they start around October, I think.
Yeah, I think it's later on the season that homecoming games.
If early games don't matter, then the NCAA should allow a preseason. Ooh,
God, that would be the worst.
Well, they kind of do have a preseason because
their preseason game is playing those FCS teams.
I got to give it to LSU. Their first team out the gate is always a top 10 team. They never play a cupcake coming out the gate. But my Sooners, they always play a cupcake. They always do. They always play a warm-up.
Boise played Washington.
Yeah, wow.
Boise never shies away in the first game of the season. They're always playing someone in the Power 5.
Yeah.
They played Oregon one year.
I'm going to ask you again. Who's your 4?
So
you're the college guy. You tell me.
Yeah, obviously Michigan and Michigan and Washington. And since I can't put Texas below Alabama, I got to say Texas and Alabama at 3 or 4. And Georgia's out. Ohio's out.
Ohio State, Georgia out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we know Ohio State's up.
Yeah. I feel like
but Florida State, you think is going to be out too?
I think Florida State should be out. Yes, based on the game last night, I would say yes. Because
Danny says
Louisville's not on the
always plays a top 10 team. First game next year is USC. That's going to be a good one. But Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's the last. I mean, it's the last year of the Big 12, really, the way it's been for years. So they kind of need to have a representative from that conference, I would think.
Even though Texas is leaving, but still.
Right, I understand that. What I'm
As soon
saying
as the
is
game is over for Texas, they're an SEC team.
they're SEC bound. I know. We're
It's
going
kind of
there
funny,
too.
but yeah, I get what I get what
You
you're saying.
understand what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
really
it's
the
the same
last
thing
year
with
of the Big
Washington and
12.
Pac-12.
Yeah, exactly. But they were undefeated, so
Mhm.
they should be in there,
Right?
right?
Yes. Yeah.
FSU,
I
they're going to
think
lose out. They're going to
I
lose
feel.
out
Yeah, I just feel like
simply
when
because
Jordan
of their
Travis
strength
went
of
down,
schedule, I think. Yeah.
I just think with their
Hmm.
strength, their strength of schedule isn't nothing special.
Yeah.
Either.
Let's see.
So it's
Look at what James Madison did this year. Do they even have athletic scholarships? Yeah.
they do now.
Mhm. Right. They're going to get them for sure.
No, they're eligible next. You know what? You know what James Madison can do? They can win next year and become a Group Power 5 champion and represent the Group of 5 in next year because they'll be eligible.
Right. Well, all right.
Of course, their head coach is leaving.
What do you think, John? What do you think the top 4 teams are going to be? I don't have a dog in this hunt because when it comes to friggin' college, I'm just an OU guy, and I could care. I've got an OU Santa in my front yard right now, so that I don't know anything about the other teams. So, what do you think?
I agree with Knock. I think he's got the list right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But
I know Michigan's coming out first, so
Florida State is going to be pissed off because they're not going to make it, and you're going to whoever wins the national championship, they're going to be able to say, "We to beat them." You know what I'm saying? They're going to be able to say that. But we'll see what happens. Well, thanks for that, Knock. And look, Knock is going to be monitoring ESPN for the playoff announcement. Don't know if it's going to happen during the game or during our show today. But
I think most likely, I think most likely it'll be next week. It'll just be, because the only thing next week is just the Army Navy game, so we'll talk about that, and then I'll pretty much just showcase what the bowl game. By then, the bowl games will be selected, including the playoffs. So,
but if he has word, if they actually are nice to us and give us the 4 teams,
I have it live right now.
He will
on my other screen,
let us know.
I will keep it.
Let's see.
That's about a half hour.
Yep. Let me see what I've got here. Okay. All right. Let's start our coverage of the NFL schedule this time around.
So John Metcalf got me 50 points. So that was cool.
Yeah.
We're not to that game yet. We have
what? Monday night? Oh, I'm sorry.
We got to cover the games that we did not get to see between now and then. Well, the first one we didn't get to see between now and then was a stinker, probably a stinker for all time. Really was. But you guys, as usual, went with the Minnesota Vikings, and you guys can go back and look. Who did I pick? Who did I pick? Do we remember? I picked the Chicago Bears, and they actually scored a touchdown at the end of this game and won the game. So,
hey, you picked the Jets over the Bills, so don't get too
Hey,
your britches there, okay?
I got to take small victory. I got to take my victories when I can get them. Let's catch up with the chat real quick. Let's see. Admiral Teague says FSU, not really FSU this year. They'll be sleeping with the fishes. Yeah. Speaking of head coaches, how about one-time Jets coach Bill Belichick? Will he broadcasting or doing time next year? I think he's going to continue to be doing time. I think he's going to be coaching. Is that Filet paint behind Das Wolfen? I don't know. Let's see. Filet paint. Talking about the paint you're using.
It's Army Painter.
Army Painter. There you go. Let's see. What up, Dork? Good to see you. Go Army. I've been to games at West Point. It's a blast. Dude, yes. Go Knights. That's what I'm talking about.
Now for Army, Army's playing for the cup. the whatever they call, I forget what they call it, the Armed Forces Cup or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then, but Navy is playing for the last eligible 6-6 bowl spot.
Ooh.
And if they don't win, I think the next one up is Minnesota at 5-7. So
Really?
there's one bowl slot remaining, and Navy's the only one that can have a chance at it because
if they win, they control their own destiny.
So Army's got something to play for. I mean, other than the normal Army Navy
other than the normal, hey, I want to kick your ass. Yeah. Come on, man.
So kind of added a sense for both sides on this. So it could be a crazy.
Don't worry, Admiral Teague. We're going to talk about the Patriots. Don't you worry about that. Everyone knows the Jets beat. I don't know what he's saying there. Easily.
Beat Buffalo easily.
Buffalo easily.
We saw
a simulation. Yeah.
It was bad in being.
And Danny says Saints at 5-6 still tied for first place. Yeah, that's a bad division.
I mean, wow,
that's a bad division. And Admiral Teague says at the Army, they search the shit out of your car. Keep illegal substances on your person. It's still a military base of sorts. Yeah, of course it is. Okay, so this was a horrible game. That's all I can tell you guys. It was. I
watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't. That's the one you should have stayed up for the friggin' Seahawks Dallas game.
Well, I didn't have to work the next morning.
I know you didn't.
I didn't have to work this morning.
This was horrible. I mean, it was horrible.
I would have been late for work if I had stayed up till midnight.
But hey, to their credit, Buffalo scored the touchdown. So, hey, there it was. Okay, so let's get into this week's games. And the first one we got to talk about is this one. I was there live. I've got some footage to show you guys. But, wow, that was a fun experience. I've been to Texas Stadium like 3 times. And my brother, God love him, got me tickets to this one. And, actually, it was his stepson that did. Danny says it's the best division ever. Talking about his division. Admiral Teague says I was sure the Seahawks had him. Danny, you're gonna love this. My brother, Dad called me in the third quarter of that game, and I told him, I said, I'm in the middle of this game. I'm sitting here in the stands. He said, yeah, I just want to let you know I'm picking your boys because the Cowboys haven't beat a team with a winning record all year long. I said, okay, fine, and sure enough, man, he put the kibosh on my team. They ended up losing. But you can't say that about the Cowboys anymore. They've beat a team with a winning record. So and their winning streak at home is ungodly. But let me pull up. I wanted to pull up some of the video that I shot, guys. I got it in a playlist. Hang on one second. Let me pull it up real fast. You guys will enjoy this. It was pretty cool. Like I said, I had never been there before. And stop it. Okay, pause. And I'll just let this play in the background. This was, I think, the first one that's on here. Is it's going to be playing backwards, I think. This is one of the later touchdowns. This is one of the ones, I think, where this is where we had to score twice, I think. Yeah, that was the first one, whenever they told us that the Cowboys had called a timeout. Look how big that fucking TV screen is. It's ridiculous how big that thing is, man. It is nuts. We were up above one of the end zone on the other side of the field, one of the corners. But I think he throws it to Metcalf here. Believe that
was so funny because I was watching that and all I was like, the first 2 times I was like, dang it, they're throwing to not Metcalf, and then the third time they threw it to Metcalf, I was like, yay, thank you,
there you go, right? Oh, that first one, I wasn't even recording. I only started recording when they got in the red zone. You know what I mean? But that first one, when he ran for 75 yards, dude, and apparently, from what I understand, now this was a 3-play sequence when I think it was the Cowboys' second touchdown. But dude, he apparently, they showed stats earlier this year how all the Miami players had the top speed. Guess what? He's number 1 on that list. He has been the fastest human being on the football field this year. On that play, he outran. You know what's funny? Bland got a pick in this game, but a guy that's playing balls out all year long Metcalf punked him all night. He did. He ate friggin' Bland up like he was his bitch. It was ridiculous, dude. It really
And
was.
apparently CD Lamb didn't want to get shown up, so he's like, "I'm
No,
gonna catch
CeeDee
20
Lamb
balls."
was showing out too. Oh my God. He got what? How many games in a row has that guy got over 10 catches? It's ridiculous.
That's a good
But
amount.
yeah, the pomp and circumstance at the opening of these games are really cool, dude. I mean, I did an entire video of nothing but the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. I said, yeah, the best thing about them, was them. I'm just going to let this play. But it was a lot of fun, dude. This game was a lot of fun. And as we said, dude, no punts. I mean, and I couldn't complain about where they went for fourth down, trying to get first downs on fourth. I couldn't complain about it. The places where they were doing it on the field, you can make. Now this one right here, that's Gino, the old man, taking it himself, right? And if you heard the sound on this, my wife was the loudest thing in the room. She has no voice today. She has no voice. She lost her voice during this game. But yeah, she was smacking me around during that play, right? That's why the camera started shaking. And then, of course, the best thing about the Dallas Cowboys is the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, man, we had a lot of fun. Thank you again, Dan, for and Joe. Thanks to Joe Wilson for definitely for the tickets, man. He works for the Cowboys, and he let me get his for that game. But yeah, had a ball. It was great. Admiral Teague says Geno Smith is as great Italian American and was a decent Jet, so he's okay with me. Yeah, I figured you'd like that. And they had all their living Hall of Famers. You see Randy White there on the big screen. They had all their Hall of Famers there, so that was pretty cool. I thought that was neat. It was a great experience, and I have to. Oh, wait. This is probably my favorite video out of all of them. Hang on. We got to see once again. It won't be the last time, but it may be one of the last times. We got to see Richard Sherman and Pete Carroll together on the football field. It was pretty cool. Being a Seahawks fan, I dig that. The Legion of Boom and Pete Carroll talking to each other at midfield. It was pretty fun. They're talking about. I know what they're talking about. They're talking about lining up against each other right there because Pete, he wants to play every day. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of fun. Even though they lost the game, I had a ball, and I really think that they need to wear that uniform all the time. I love that fucking uniform. It was badass looking. They looked sharp as shit in that uniform. But like we said, they could not last the Cowboys. And wow, it's getting down to it, boys and girls, because we got some games that are going to matter today. The afternoon window game that everybody's going to see. I guarantee you there's not going to be many markets that aren't going to show the fucking Eagles and the 49ers. And we'll talk about that one here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and go down the row here. First one we've got Los Angeles Chargers at the New England Patriots. You wanted me to talk about the Patriots, Big Daddy. Here it is. There, Admiral Teague. They're starting Bailey Zappi, boys and girls. And I don't know if you saw the graphic for Thursday Night Football when they were advertising. They didn't know which player to put up there, so they just put a picture of Belichick up for on the Patriots side of the graphics.
They should have just put one with Brady up there.
Right? Just put Brady up there. Fuck it, Admiral Teague says Chargers will win very, very easily. If New England's going to win a game down the stretch, it'll probably be this one because the fucking Chargers can't get out of their own fucking way. I don't know what it is with that team.
Super fun
analytics.
Right? Yeah. Analytics. Well, you know what it is with that team. Look, Brandon Stokely will not be the Los Angeles Chargers head coach next year.
Listen. If the Patriots win this game, I can't imagine Staley being there any longer.
No.
Can't lose.
They might fire him after this game.
That's what I'm saying. I can't imagine him being there after this game if they lose.
I'm pulling for the Patriots, dude. I want to, and I am a Herbert fan. You guys know this. I preach about him all the time. He's playing for such a bad fucking coaching staff. It's not even funny. And I just, oh God. I hope the Patriots just punk these guys. I really do. I really do. Admiral Teague says, yes, they showed the coach, laugh out loud. Yeah, they did. But here's the thing. If New England beats the Chargers, first of all, we know Brandon Stokely's out. But there's been rumor that Belichick's may be going to another team next year, which I don't believe. He just signed an extension at the beginning of the year. I think all of this is just fucking smoke and mirrors, man. I really do.
I bet that Bill is the one that started it.
Yeah, just to take attention off of his fucking football team, right? To get the pressure off of these guys, right? Let's see. Albert Tick says, but but everyone wants a piece of cheating Belichick, and this year is the year to do it. The Chargers players will go all out. Yeah, they will. Yeah. I'm taking San Diego in this one. You can't take the Patriots. They can't figure that. Look, they don't have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback. When Bailey, when Bailey's, that's his first name. Bailey Zappi came in last week. All they did was everything was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. They don't trust him to throw downfield. It was all screens. It was ridiculous. And they're going to probably do the same thing today. That's probably what they're going to do today. I'm pulling for the Patriots, but yeah, it's going to be the Chargers today. What do you think, John? It's your division. Tell me.
I'm going out on a limb. I'm going with the Patriots.
Yeah! I'm just afraid to get on that limb, bro. If anybody can turn it around with the shitty players, though, it's Belichick.
There's only one reason. That's because the Patriots got a better defense.
Yeah, they do. That they do. Admiral Teague says, I heard Belichick is going to be coaching a team called the Mean Machine at the league lockup for dirty coaches and performing itching drug using players. That's awesome. Knock, are you going to go on that limb with John or no?
I'm not quite ready to go there. God. Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers, but I am definitely pulling for the Patriots.
I hear you.
I'm enjoying the Broncos not being in the basement. We have climbed a long way out of there.
Right. So, let's keep them down there. I know you're pulling for the Patriots. There. I know that. Yeah.
So I will definitely go for the Patriots on this one. Or root for them anyways.
Right.
I think the Chargers will handle them just because they might have a better defense, but the Chargers have a better offense.
I hear you. Yeah, for sure.
and offenses win regular season games.
Yes, they do. Tom Brady is not there to take Belichick make Belichick look smart anymore. Yeah, for sure. And here's a good segue. Daniel says Saints will lose huge. And who do they have? They have the Detroit Lions. Danny says they're going to lose huge.
No, the Lions didn't look so good on Thanksgiving. So I don't know.
And that was against
their fire burn bright too fast, kind of deal?
No, I think you got to throw that one out because it was the Packers, dude. If it was anybody else but the Packers, yeah, I'd be concerned. But the Packers, they've owned that division for a while. They treated that game like it was their Super Bowl. We can't have anybody ahead of us, I've never seen the Packers pass rush get after a quarterback like that. I have not. We haven't seen that all year. And it's not like the Lions have a bad front line. I think they've had some injuries on that front line. I think that could have been part of it.
Are you scared? We're going to discuss this a little bit more, but are you scared of that D line, John?
The
Packers?
No, not really.
You shouldn't be. I just they haven't.
So it was just a dud versus the Lions. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, that's a division game. You know what I'm saying? That's a division game. Let's see. What are these guys talking about?
This is a Super Bowl. Sunday night. The only reason I keep bringing it up because they're showing it right now on ESPN. That's why I keep thinking about
it. Let me coach Tom Brady, and I bet I go to the playoffs too. Yeah, well, Jesus. We all know that.
You should put coach in like quotation marks there.
Right. Coach in quotation marks. Let me coach Tom Brady, right?
That was like all those. That was
because I'm pretty sure he coached Mr. Risk It No Biscuit the year they won the Super Bowl because down there in Tampa. Because oh my God, man, he was throwing just as many picks as Jameis Winston was the year before.
Well, how many coaches
You know what I mean?
got how many
And
coaches
then
got
about halfway
signed to
through the
Matt
season, he
Canada?
met with the coach and said, "Look, man, you got to give me a drag route, something short. I mean, I got to have that on every play. I got to have an option, man." You know. And when he did that, that's when they started winning. It was ridiculous. Go ahead, Knock. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Well, how many offensive coordinators got picked up because of Peyton Manning?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Teague says, if Lambeau Stadium is so great, why is it called the Yankee Stadium of football instead of the Yankee Stadium being Lambeau Field of baseball? Right? Yeah. Yep. Pretty sure Tom Brady called his own plays for better or worse. Yeah, let me tell you something. It's funny you bring that up because you're a Jets fan. They say that's probably one of the biggest problems with the Jets right now because they're stuck with Nathaniel Hackett running the offense, right? And he's perfect for Rodgers. Why? Because Rodgers will check out a shit he doesn't like that he's calling. These guys playing for the Jets right now don't do that. They roll with whatever he says. And Rodgers, how many times have we seen him act like he's smoking a joint? He's always making these hand signals to change routes and all this fucking shit during the game. He's doing it. Nathaniel Hackett's the offensive coordinator, but I think it's just because he's a yes man for Rodgers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
you should play the clip from Pirates of the Caribbean. They're more like rules than guidelines.
right.
they're more like guidelines than
guidelines.
actual rules.
Right.
That's what Rodgers says to his plays.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the Jets right now. They don't have a guy that can call out of a bad play that Nathaniel Hackett's putting in. I'm not a Jets fan anymore. If they move, Aaron Rodgers would also bench himself if Mercury is in retrograde too. I thought you were just joking about them moving to. Is there something going on with that? Them moving? I haven't heard anything. I don't think they'd be going anywhere.
Yeah, that's not real.
Jets OC is loser who can't adjust to Wilson. Yeah, exactly. But by the same thing, Wilson's not checking out of plays either. He's not doing that. So I think they're better off with that. But anyway, Detroit and the Saints, this is a tough one to call because Detroit's been brought down to earth a little bit. I think they're going to come out pissed off and start scoring again. Yeah. And the Saints, they're too up and down on offense. I love their D, but too up and down on offense. I'm going to have to roll with the Detroit Lions in this one. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I've got the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not ready to go on the limb for the Saints. I never cared for them.
Yeah.
And that I just want Kamara to do good. That's my only interest in that team.
I would perform better.
So were they.
Yeah, and
that happened.
My brother is all about giving the hook and put Jameis Winston in. He can throw picks just as easily as Carr can. Here's what Danny thinks about the quarterback position there in in New Orleans. Excuse me. He thinks they should put in Jameis Winston because, first of all, the turnovers aren't going to change, right? But he will push it downfield more than Carr will. And he'll get rid of the ball faster. That's it. That's his thinking on putting Jameis Winston in instead of Carr. You know what I mean? Because he has been a guy that's not afraid to throw it downfield. So that's what his thinking is on that. An NFL quarterback should be able to make a pre-snap read and get the team into a better play. Hell yeah. And that's something Wilson can't do. Wilson, while terrible, only had success when he changed stuff up at the line. Yeah, for sure. The Jets are moving to London. I'm not joking about that one. 4 home games a year starting next year in London. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, free at last. If you only have 5 plays, play 5 of 17 in New York, You're not the New York Jets. I got you. Okay. Well, shit, man. I got you. Maybe they are thinking about moving that team because we know they're thinking about moving the Jaguars over there. So, okay.
The Jaguars would be first before.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars are going to be first. Next one we got here is the Atlanta Falcons, who at this point are leading the South. If you can call them a division leader, they are leading the NFC South, and they've got the New York Jets.
They're playing for a bowl game. They're playing for a bowl game right now.
They're playing for a bowl game? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
they need to get 6 wins for a bowl game?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Once they get there, they can lose the rest of the season. They'll still be bowl eligible. They'll still be division leader eligible too. So it works. It works both ways.
I hear you, man. I've been trying to pick the Jets for you guys all year long with the defense, and yeah, I picked them against Buffalo because I figured, it's a division game. Throughout the records, they're going to play good. I can't do it. Falcons, even though I don't trust the Falcons, even though I can't trust Ritter as far as I can throw him. Yeah, I got to go Falcons, man. I mean, it's just bad what's going on in New York, dude. It really is. And the whole thing is they're handcuffed to Nathaniel Hackett. They're handcuffed to that guy. It's another team that is handcuffed to this dude. If Rodgers had been there, they'd have had a good season. They would have. Their competition would have been Miami, right? I don't even think they'd have been worried about Buffalo because, with that defense, they held Buffalo down in the first game and won without him. You know what I mean? So I really think Miami would have been the only challenge they'd have had, but God almighty, I hate it for you Jets fans. Actually, I don't. I'm a New England Patriots fan. I can't stand them. But anyway, look, my father is from Boston. And if you guys don't understand, and Admiral Teague will tell you this, we don't like each other. It took 9/11 to bring those two towns together, let me tell you. If you've ever seen a Boston Red Sox Yankees game, throw out the records, man. We beat each other up, no doubt. Okay, so let's see. Teague is in here talking about his team. Let's see.
His new team.
Yeah. For my new team, let's hear it from my new team, the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson for president. I hear you, brother. Even since George R.R. Martin started going every single game, both New York teams have been awful. I don't know what that says of him. I don't know what that says.
Part of this is him.
Yeah. Robert Saleh, to be honest, is the real issue for the Jets. Do you think? I don't think he is. And I could be wrong. He could be a guy that's a defensive coordinator and that's it. That could be the case. But I think whoever's handling the offense, here's the problem. You're handcuffed. If you want Rodgers to stay with the team and play next year, you've got to keep Hackett because you made your deal with the devil and you want to keep him happy. You got to keep Hackett, right? I think if it wasn't Rodgers, if it was just on the OC, they'd have fired him 4 weeks ago. You know what I mean? And you're just screwed. I don't think it's Saleh. I think he's a good coach. It's just he has nothing on offense to hang his hat on at all. He's not an offensive-minded guy, so he's counting on Hackett to get it done, and they're stuck with Hackett, and Hackett sucks. But anyway, he can't hack it. That's right. Hackett can't hack it. All right. Enough about this garbage game. This was probably going to be garbage too.
The next garbage game.
Right. The next garbage game. Atlanta at Pittsburgh. Does anybody want to go on that limb with the dwarf?
I mean, I'm not going to pick them, but I'm definitely rooting for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Of course. Anybody trying to get in the playoff mix, like the Denver Broncos, is rooting against the Pittsburgh Steelers, no doubt.
So, but I don't know. I mean, you never know, Kyler. He's just kind of the X factor in this one.
He is,
as far as what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Steelers, they came off a good game last week, but I mean, that doesn't.
One game is not a trend, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. this is kind of a up in the air game. But I mean, I've been doing that playoff machine this last week, and I'll discuss a little bit more later. But
we'll hit it before we get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of games to be lost for the Steelers. Their schedule is pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I mean,
I think they're going to make it. I think they're going to make it, and I think you need to hope. I think you need to put your hopes and prayers into the Colts, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Yeah,
yeah. I think the lowest AFC team, the last wildcard slot, is going to get 10-6.
Yeah,
just based on what showing the schedule. I've gone through that machine a couple times, and it's just like, man, I think 10-6 with those teams. The ones that are on the bubble, right there.
Yeah,
I think you got to get at least 10 wins to have a chance to be in.
Yeah. So, John, do you want to go on the limb with Arizona? No.
Nope.
No?
Okay. With the Steelers.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty sure. I think that's going to be it, man. I think that's going to be it. Okay, let's see. Next up, those Colts that you need to lose, bro. Division game against the Titans. What's up? Here's the thing. Levis is still learning. He's not bad. He's not great.
King Henry is back. No, I don't know.
Yeah. King Henry is playing.
He's playing. He exists.
But the Colts counterpart is not. Taylor is hurt. I think they're saying like 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, a couple weeks. Now, to be fair, Moss was lighting it up when he was in. The backup Moss was
right.
He kind of fell off because Taylor was back and doing really well. But Moss was killing it. I had him on my fantasy team when he was first playing with Taylor out. So he was showing up. So I don't think there's going to be a crazy amount of drop off there.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be the factor if the Colts lose.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be the run game.
John, you think they can muster enough offense to keep up with the Minshew magic, bro?
No, I'm going with Minshew. I like Minshew. So
yeah. I'm pulling for the Titans, but I have to go with the Colts in this one too.
There's a lot of that going on this week. Just kind of,
Yeah, we're hoping and praying they can pull it off, but really don't want to put our eggs in that basket. Really don't want to.
If the Titans win, I'm going to be very happy. That's definitely going to help us out. That's going to skyrocket our chances for sure.
Right,
especially if we can get that win today. But
well, here's the problem, man. That AFC is so stacked, and we'll look at the playoff picture. But all the leaders have 3 losses, and that's it. I mean, you can't lose games at this point. You can't. Yeah. And there's teams chomping at the bit to get up there. Okay. Then we got the Eastern Division leaders, the Miami Dolphins, going into Knox backyard and taking on the Commandos. What's up? What you think?
If it was nice out today, I might have gone and checked this game out and seen the Slaughterfest was going to happen. But
yeah, hang on one real quick, though. I got to make a statement real fast. All you idiots that have been getting on the kid in blackface in that game last week, guess what?
Oh, that
was a Chiefs game, right, John? He's a Chiefs fan, and he happens to be a Native American. So shut the fuck up and move on.
His grandfather's on the tribal council for the Chakwa.
Yeah.
Tribe. It was red and blackface, but they only showed the photo of the one side of them.
That's a perfect example of media.
That's been fucking right. That did
exactly.
He should be fired.
Something up there to be divisive.
And I get that. And the thing about that one is, I get you're in a stadium, so it's kind of public viewing,
right?
But putting an article up about a kid.
Yeah,
that's like,
what the hell's wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's below immoral to put that up in the first place. I don't care what your fucking view is. Like that, you don't put someone else's kid's picture up there like that, denouncing them and wanting, because that kind of shit is what gets people hurt.
Yeah, it is. Yep, absolutely. let's see. We got I got lost there for a second. But the reason why I brought that up is I saw another article this week.
All right, Teague.
Calm down, Teague.
That pick of that kid was so manufactured, while everyone else who likes the team is a loser and probably a felon. That kid's okay.
We'll put you in timeout.
We're going to put him in timeout. That's what we're going to do. No, Foxy tagged me in an article, and I'm not going to worry about bringing it up right now, but there's another American Indian group that has followed that they're trying to get the Washington Redskins mantle back on the Commandos.
You get this story every week. It means nothing. They're not going back.
Yeah.
This story has come out every other week since they changed the name. Nothing's going to happen. They'll keep putting articles about it. It's never going to. It's not going to go back. It's just
yeah.
They might get a new name, but it's not going to go back to Redskins at this point.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think. They should have changed it to the Warriors and not even changed the damn logo. That would have been perfect. But anyway, what do you think? Is this one that the Miami Dolphins would be brought down to earth on? What do you think?
No. The Commanders.
We've got the number 1 offense versus the number 32 defense.
Yeah. I wouldn't even look at the numbers, man.
I mean, if you look at the defense, and this is including the Denver Broncos defense which has risen a lot more, so that the stats are starting to even out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fact that they're 32 in a season where the Broncos gave up what they did,
right,
800 yards of offense or whatever, so
that's pretty damn bad.
That's pretty bad. Anyone behind the Broncos in defense right now is pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's average bad.
Right, average bad. That's crazy. But anyway,
to lose, yes.
Nobody's. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
they're fighting for number 1 too. So I mean,
they are, dude. All the division leaders are stacked in the AFC. They all are. Nobody can afford a loss if they want home field. They cannot afford a loss. None of them. And what's funny is, aren't the Ravens sitting at the house this week?
They are. Yeah, they're on bye week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they can't lose this week. They get to watch you guys beat each other up. Wow. It's crazy. Okay, next one. Denver at Houston. This might be the most fun game to watch today. We got the team with the longest winning streak in the NFL right now. They're at what, 5 games now? 5 in a row? Is that right?
Before we go too far, Joe, I do want to say, just before we get too far off the Dolphins and Baltimore, they play the 31st of December. They might be playing for the number 1 seed, the Dolphins and the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty wild. The schedule makers, man, sometimes they know what they're doing. Sometimes they do.
Not going to happen.
And you know why he's confident about saying that? And we'll look at it here before the end of the show. The Chiefs have the easiest fucking road down the stretch. I don't know how a Super Bowl champion got such a weak schedule down the stretch.
Baltimore has the hardest.
I mean, Baltimore has got murderer's row, and the Chiefs are like, they talking like
who's
they talking like
the
this. They the meatheads, baby. They the meatheads going, yeah, we number 1. What's up? But yeah, dude, this game is going to be fun. We've got arguably the rookie of the year for the Texans. He got beat last week in his own house. Who was it that beat him last week? I forgot who won. Who they were playing last week. But they did get beat. Was it one of the Steelers? The Steelers beat them earlier this year.
Jaguars.
That's right. Yeah. The Jaguars beat them. Yeah. Division game, right?
They had the doink field goal.
But now
Trevor Lawrence.
This arguably could be the first playoff game of the year right here, man. Really, because whoever wins this game's got a leg up, man. They got a leg up.
It's a huge
on that bottom rung.
It's crazy. Yep. If
Mm-hmm.
Texas wins, they got especially, and that'll only increase if the Colts lose too.
Right.
And like right sitting at this right here, I think if Houston wins, they have like a 65% chance, I think it was, and like a 30-something% if they lose.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Denver has a 50% chance to make it, and like a 13% chance if they don't, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was, if I remember correctly.
Now, when you're looking at these numbers, folks, remember that 27th rank on defense includes an explosion by the friggin' Miami Dolphins in one game. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably a little closer to even.
Yeah, it is.
When you look at the
they're top 10 in the last like
run.
6 weeks, and they've been going against good teams. Like,
yep.
So this isn't a fake
look,
defense.
they beat the Chiefs. Who else they win?
They beat the Bills.
Beat the Bills. Yeah.
The red hot Vikings. You know, when they were on their win streak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they made Myles Garrett was nowhere to be seen. So,
Admiral Teague says the Ravens will win the AFC easily. I don't know how easy it's going to be, buddy. You still got to play Pittsburgh again, and they got your number.
Where's that timeout button?
Right. Mm-hmm. Danny says Jaguars. That's Danny. Danny's a closet case Jaguars fan, all the way back to Brunel days. He loves the Jaguars, man. Saints are his number one. New England's his number two, but number three is definitely the Jaguars, as he likes to call them. And he says it's Terry time, so he's going to go check out Terry. I will text you if we get the results of the well, I'm sure they're going to cover it on Fox, but if we find out anything about the college playoff, we'll let you know. But I'm going with your Broncos. You got to go with the hot hand, damn it. And I'm going with them. What say you, sir?
I mean, I got to roll with it. They're on a 5-game win streak. I think we have a really good chance. I think our offense can finally show a little something. We got to get touchdowns, not field goals. I like Will Lutz.
Dude, you were up 14-0 last week. I was like, what? Double-digit lead? What the fuck is this?
But it just never felt safe, though. It's just because they just kept them in it for too long. We keep the other team in it for too long. We don't get ahead and stay ahead very often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It always seems to have to be a race at the end. I'm just glad this isn't on prime time. And then, of course, they moved our Broncos and Lions game to prime time in a few weeks. So it's like, of fucking course.
That's thing what we need. Think's funny as fuck about it, Knock, is they're winning the way I play Madden. Just taking field goals when they're there. And then getting the fucking score at the end if I need it, you know. And
Sean will go for it. He'll take risks. He will take risks.
Yeah. Yeah, he will. Absolutely. What do you think there, Das Wolfen? Who's got this one?
I think it's going to fall on the shoulders of the Rookie of the Year, and I think he's going to pull it out.
You don't see. That could happen, but I'm going to tell you this: every time Russ plays one of these guys that's younger than him, that plays like him, you know, that has wheels and can throw and can play from the pocket and stuff, he always ends up punking them, man. He always does. He takes it personally. So I really think this is just me talking, and I've been watching the guy for more than a decade. Yeah. You know, I just know how he is. Now you're right. You're right. This isn't in prime time. It's a regular Sunday game. So it could go either way. I just feel like it's going to be Denver. Of course, you know, I'm no big Denver fan, but I am a Russ Wilson fan. So, and I like what's going on with him. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Next one we got any word over there, John? Or excuse me, Knock. We got any word over there, buddy?
Not yet. They're going over the criteria right now for the selection. Looks like they're gonna start with it pretty early on this one. So I think before the end of the show we'll have our list.
Okay, cool. Next up, we've got. Oh God, you want to talk about?
This is the one they flexed up to the 4:00 game because they knew no one was going to watch it, and
to put up against San Francisco and the Eagles, right?
They swapped. This is the one they swapped with Denver,
right? We got Tampa hosting, arguably a team worse than the New England Patriots, the Carolina Panthers, and we're starting to see now why the Panthers are in the state they're in. Yeah, their owner is a flaky son of a gun. He shouldn't have fired.
Not according to him.
Not according to him. No.
I watched that whole interview too, and then just watched as the analysts tore him apart.
Whatever. I got to tell you that, I'm rooting for Baker. I think they get it done today. They're at home. They're playing a team that, they've got their interim coach. This is not a Raiders type thing, though. Their interim coach is not going to make a difference. Matter of fact, it'll probably make it worse. Frank Reich was probably getting the most he could get out of these guys, and I don't see a path to a victory here for the Carolina Panthers. What say you, John? What you think?
It's the Bucs. They're gonna manage to pull it out. The old guy's gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Knock, what you got?
I'm gonna go on a limb on this one.
Really?
I feel like I don't know what it is about teams that have an interim guy come in. They just look completely different. I don't think it's gonna be exactly like the Raiders, but I think there's gonna be a change in this. I don't think the Bucs have shown enough to show that they can just go into any game and just win it. They're not playing that great. Baker Mayfield's trying, but
look, he's not the reason they're losing. He is not the reason they're losing.
He's not, but he's not the reason they're winning either. So
but I mean, you can only hit guys in the hand so many times and then drop it. You know what I'm saying?
This is my upset pick. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with this as my upset pick of the week.
Roll with it, bro. Roll with it. I can't hang with it. I can't hang.
I think the Bucs will win though.
Next up, of course. Next up, we got the Cleveland Browns.
Come on, Rams. Your new favorite team. My new favorite team, the Rams.
Your new favorite team, the Rams.
I need the Browns to lose.
Who are trying to work their way into the playoff picture. They've got the tiebreaker with us. Yeah. And they would be up there with us.
Right. The Vikings are 6-6 right now. The Vikings are the 7-5.
So are the Seahawks. And they've got the tiebreaker on us, right? The Rams are coming on, So but we've got Cleveland, who's on their third string quarterback. Actually, no. Excuse me. They're on their fourth string quarterback because Joe Flacco. That's right, Jets fans. Yes. That's right, Ravens fans. Your old quarterback is going to be playing for the Cleveland Browns today.
Our old quarterback, too, for a season.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. He was with the Broncos for about a cup of coffee.
The Jets' old quarterback.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that Joe Flacco is going to be slinging the rock for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, it's hard to watch, isn't it? I mean, this guy was in the AFC Championship game every year the first 5 years he was in the league, just like Patrick Mahomes. He didn't host it every year, but he was in that game every year the first 5 years he was in the league.
It was always fun watching him go against the Patriots because they would always slaughter the Patriots for some reason.
Right?
In the playoffs.
Yeah, they had that. That was a rivalry, man. When Brady first, it's kind of funny. When Brady first started playing, the rivalry was him and Peyton Manning. And then the next decade, it was him and the Ravens, right? It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But I just don't, I don't know. The old man might, he belongs in Cleveland. We'll see, man. I think Matthew Stafford wins the day. I think, yes, Myles Garrett has probably surpassed Aaron Donald as the best defensive lineman in football at this point. He probably has. But I gotta give it, if I'm gonna pick between two old men, I'm gonna take that dog, man. I'm gonna take that dog. He's a tough motherfucker.
Take that dog.
And he's on a roll, dude. Stafford's on a roll, man. They've won a couple of games in a row. So
I'm taking
they're getting healthy.
I'm taking the dog pound.
Ooh,
I think the Browns are going to pull it out. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Okay. The Browns are going to pull it out.
They got the number one team. They got the number one defense in football, no doubt.
I think McVay is going to see what the Broncos did last week against that defense.
Mm-hmm.
They got Kyrene Williams back, so they're getting healthier, and he
Yeah.
Balled out
last week. Yeah, he did.
So, and I had him on the bench. I was very sad. But no, like I just think, I think the Rams they got those awesome receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Kupp has been doing. He's been getting banged up a lot.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that just look at what they did during the Browns, neutralize Garrett as best you can.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was irrelevant last week.
Yep.
At least. I mean, just check and see what they did and do that.
Yeah.
And the Rams still have a defense. It still does exist. Not as great as it's been, but has been. But no, I'm going for the Rams on this one.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I'm with you on the Rams. John, you by yourself with them Cleveland Browns this week.
That's fine. That's fine.
And hey, I usually take the top defense over anything, but it's just something about the run Stafford's on, man. I think he's trying to get to a playoff. In his what arguably could be his last season. I mean, he's been beat up over the last few years since he won the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens. Okay, next one we got is the game of the day, boys and girls. All eyes will be on the city of brotherly love this afternoon when the San Francisco 49ers step on the field at 8-3 against the 10-1 Eagles. The Eagles are in the middle of a murderer's row here. They really are. They played who was it they played 2 weeks ago? Was it Dallas? No. They have played two tough games back to back. Who was it they played last week in the evening
Bills
window? It was the Bills. That's right.
Yep.
They played another tough one the week before.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah.
And it was a fight. It was a fight
Kansas City.
for
Kansas City. That's right. The Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they had Dallas. They had Dallas before that, and they have Dallas.
That one of their 10-1 is us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
I mean, one of our 6 of 5 is yours too. So
yeah, I know. But
it's crazy, man. They're in the middle of a murderer's row, and it doesn't get any easier for them. They go to Dallas, or no? Yeah, I think they do go to Dallas this time
and then
next
they go
week.
to Seattle.
Yeah. These two games, this one right here, and the Dallas game next week, is going to dictate, I think, who's going to have home field advantage throughout. Because if they dump these two, it's going to be hard to recover from that shit. It really is. Because, the Niners are going to hold serve down the stretch, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And they've already beaten Dallas. So they'll have the tiebreaker on both of them if they win this game.
So wait, you don't think Atlanta will come back and get that number one?
Atlanta?
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Somebody call the cops and send him to friggin' Knox house. He's smoking weed right here on friggin'
I mean, it's sad that the Falcons are going to have to host the Cowboys, but there you go. That'll be fun.
Let's see. The Eagles are good, but I'm supposed to respect a team that lost to the Jets. Yeah, their one blemish was against the fucking Jets. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Probably Wilson's best game of the year, too. But I don't know, man. This is God. We've a lot of people said that if Purdy didn't get hurt, right? If Purdy didn't get hurt, that championship game would have been a lot different, right? We find out today.
Yep, we do.
We find out today. And I don't know. That's one ugly blemish. He says, this is hard for me to pick, man. I almost want to get a coin out. But you know how it is. I always
49ers.
pick the home team when it's close, and I'm picking the Eagles in this. I'm pulling for the 49ers because I want to see them all get to fucking 3 losses, just like the AFC is. I want to see a log jam there. I really do. Yeah. Now, we have no hope of anybody, from the South getting to the level that the other 3 are. But I really want to see a log jam here at the top. I really do. So, yeah, I'm pulling for the Niners, but I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. Because, guys, look, they've said it several times and saw an article today that pissed me off. And I think I mentioned it earlier in the show that Goodell wants to outlaw the fucking tush push. And I'm like, hey, figure out how to stop it. The Commanders have stopped it this year. They've stopped it. Okay. And the team that beat the Philadelphia Eagles, the Jets, the way they stopped it was they didn't let them get in 3rd and short. They did not let them do it. It was 3rd and long every time for that team. So that's how you beat the Philadelphia Eagles. That's how you've got to do it to beat them. And, I heard somebody say on TV, when they start playing, it's 3rd and 9 every time. Or excuse me, it's 1st and 9. It's not 1st and 10 for them every time. If they get 9 yards and 3 downs, they're going to go on 4th down, no matter what part of the field they're on, until somebody comes up and stops it. And Mr. Goodell, if somebody sends you a clip from this show, just know that I feel like you are a friggin' Yahtzee and need to quit changing the rules. I mean, let's see. Everybody bitched about Josh Allen not getting a football in the championship game. I'm pretty sure he's played in 6 overtime games since. Has he won any of them? Because you changed the rules for him? No, he hasn't. Quit trying to change the damn game. If you want to stop the tush push, come up with a way to stop it. That's just all there is to it. Anyway, my rant is over. Your thoughts on the game, John? Go.
I'm picking 49ers.
Yeah. Okay. Knock. What you got? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think they've got a more even skill set than the Eagles do right now.
Yep.
Plus, they've got one of arguably the better players in the league right now in Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Well, the thing that bodes well for them is they are healthy, and when healthy, they have so many. Even their fullback can take it to the house on your ass.
Yeah.
If he catches it in a flat, and he's got enough room, that guy's a tank. I mean, every skill position they have out there can fucking hurt you. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Kittle's name this year, and that's the guy this time of year you need. That big lummox, you know what I mean? Especially with the bad weather coming, and I think it's supposed to be raining up there tonight. So, yeah. But, dude, nobody runs the ball like the fucking Eagles. It's ridiculous. But anyway, Knock, what do you got?
I'm going 49ers, and
I'm the only one taking the home team?
Yeah, I'm going to go
Wow,
49.
okay.
I just think they're the more complete team. I don't think the Eagles have been super flashy.
Yeah.
It depends on injuries, really. 49ers healthy, they're better than anybody.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And by the way, the playoff or the college football playoffs is being revealed right now. So once it's done, I will pause it and you can take a look at it.
Okay. No problem.
So Michigan is number 1.
Yeah, we kind of knew that.
Yeah.
We knew that coming in.
Yeah, no surprise.
Okay. Let's see. Next up, what do we got next? Oh yeah, we got John's game tonight.
Yep.
And
Super Bowl 1 rematch, right?
Yeah, Super Bowl 1 rematch. This is it right here. And I got to tell you, I Green Bay's been looking better. They've been looking better. And they're at home, but I don't think this is an evenly matched game at all. I think that they got up for Detroit, and I think they're going to have an emotional letdown this week, and it's going to come crashing down on them when the Chiefs get to beating their ass. Now, the way that they win is to challenge the receivers, because it's been well documented. The Chiefs are having a hard time hanging on to the football this year. If they double Kelsey and challenge the receivers, they might have a chance. But nobody's talking enough about the number 2 defense in the league.
True.
They are pretty damn fucking good on defense. Steve Spagnuolo is dialing it up. He's throwing different looks. If any team, the base defense for the Cleveland Browns is a number 1 defense, but the way Spagnuolo is dialing it up for the Chiefs, where he mixes in blitzes, zone blitzes, he plays man, he does everything. and Tyrann Mathieu is he's not with them anymore. I was thinking about somebody else. But they are being very, very, very opportunistic on the fucking defensive side of the ball. Go ahead, Knock. I see what you're talking about. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Even though they're going to Green Bay. I mean, I don't mind Green Bay as a team. I just don't think they're good enough to beat the Chiefs. So that's all.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, John.
Clamps. That's what we got is clamps. That's what's going to happen. Their receivers are getting clamped.
I got you.
And nobody's catching anything.
Well, I got you. That's cool, man. That's cool.
I mean, our secondary is strong, and we may not have Bolton, but we've gotten guys like Dana stepping up. We've got several guys that just have stepped up. Karlaftis is like one of the best on quarterback pressures in the NFL.
Yeah. I don't know any of these guys. We could call them the no-name defense too. You know what I mean? Really, I don't know who any of these dudes are.
No.
And the only reason why you know them is because you're a diehard Chiefs fan. That's the only reason why you guys know these guys' names.
Yeah. All I know is the Honey Badger's not on the team anymore.
He's not. He's not.
He went back home to the Saints.
Right.
He went back home to the Saints, and
that's all I know.
He got a couple last week, so that was pretty cool. Let's see. I'm so sick of Travis Kelce in his personal life. It's not really his fault, but it's annoying as hell. Well, I mean, it doesn't help that he's in every commercial you see too. He's doing well for himself. You can't begrudge the young man at all. But yeah, every team is going to be double teaming him from here on out. They're going to, especially when the receivers are playing. Now, who's the kid? Is it Rashid? Is that the kid's name?
Rashid Rice.
That started catching it for him?
Yep.
Yeah. So they need someone else to start doing that for him. They need to start catching balls out there, man. Because, Mahomes can't throw it to himself. He just can't do that.
We've got Richie James. Richie James will be starting. We don't have McKinnon, but we're bringing up Prince.
Yeah.
So that won't be, that's a running back though. So, but we don't have Bolton, but like I said, we've been doing fine without Bolton.
I hear it.
And when we get Bolton back next week, it's going to be even better for the defense.
All right.
We're number 2 defense without Bolton.
Yep. Well, I don't hear anybody jumping on the Packers, so that sounds like a clean sweep for the Chiefs. Now, before we get to our Monday night matchup, which probably ain't going to be worth a shit, I believe we have some breaking news from my man Knock.
Yeah. There we go. Just revealed.
There it is.
Just revealed.
Florida State fans, start bitching.
I thought Texas would be ahead of Alabama. They did want them in there. They're gonna have some reasonings here in a few minutes. So they usually pull up the Boo, Mr. Boo, something. But like one of the committee members, and he's going to give his reasonings for this. But Texas win over Alabama mattered, and they kept it. So they're number 3, and Alabama's win over Georgia. Georgia went down to number 6, and Florida, unfortunately, if they had Jordan Travis right now, they'd be in, and it would have been between Alabama and Texas. It looks like Texas would have got it. So
and Travis was in the Heisman running early too, wasn't he?
He was, he was, and so now it's the only one in the Heisman race that's in right now is Penix.
Penix. Yeah, for Washington.
This is. I think this is the best matchups right here.
As far as games go, we're gonna. These are the best games we could hope for out of these 6 teams. I believe that's correct.
I'll be so happy next year when we go to a 12. That way,
yes. Then there'll be no argument.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because then Georgia can get redemption. Florida State would be in at large. Actually, they'd be ACC, so they would have a playoff home field. I think what it would be. So yeah, absolutely.
See now the bowl games. Do we know which bowl games they are? I mean,
no. I think you can. I think you can figure it out based on here. I don't know the bowl games exactly which one is which right now. They rotate the 6 every year, so I'm sure they will say what it is later. I think the Rose Bowl is going to be Michigan and Alabama.
I was fixing to say Michigan. That sounds like it should be the Rose Bowl.
Because I think I saw something earlier where Washington wanted to get Rose Bowl because they thought they had an argument to be number one. So I think that's what.
Now the Fiesta Bowl is the national championship usually, so that's got to be the Orange Bowl probably. Washington and Texas, I would believe.
Yeah, they're going to go through all that. All the other bowl stuff is going to be at 2:30 today. But they have the interview with Boo at 12:30, and then the coaches they're going to interview at 12:45.
Yep. And Knock will have a full breakdown of all of that for us next week.
Yep.
And a preview of the Army-Navy game, I'm sure. But this is it. Michigan is going to play Alabama, probably in the Rose Bowl. Washington is going to play the Texas Longhorns.
Awesome.
And man, dude, and this is just me because I'm a Big 12 guy. This is really the last year of the Big 12. I'm going to be pulling for the Horns. I'm going to be pulling for them. I'm going to hope that they can outlast the rest of these teams.
Big 12 is definitely going to take a step down.
Yeah.
After this,
it's not going to
be a tier 2
kind
of conference after this because all they have left is Oklahoma State is probably
Oklahoma State, TCU.
Some of those, some of the ones that the new contenders in there are going to have a chance to catch up. But it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be fun to see. 6 should play 1.
Next year,
I don't think Michigan would want to play that team, really. They're going to have a tough enough time with Alabama, man. No doubt. Okay.
Washington would definitely like to play Florida State right now. That's for sure.
Right? They'd love to play Florida State, not Texas. That's for damn sure. Okay. Thanks a lot, Knock. Appreciate that, man. That's good stuff. I can't argue with what they put up. And Florida State fans, I'm sorry, but if your starter was in there, I could see it. But
and they did include that in the criteria too. They did. It was a factor.
I'm
the
sure.
Loss of key players.
That's what they're. Trust me, that committee has got to hang their hat on that, don't they? They have to. I mean, that's the only logical argument there is. Okay, Monday night, we got a stinker, folks.
Unfortunate.
No way. Bengals going to play the Jaguars, and well, I say a stinker, but the Jaguars have been known to play down to their competition before. But I don't think they're going to do that this time around. I think that they're on a bit of a roll. They're starting to click. You can't argue with their running game. It's one of the best in the league. Etienne is the real deal. Holyfield. And look, the Bengals without Joe Burrow, I'll never pick them. I just won't pick them. They put all their eggs in his basket. They have. They got him the wide receiver. They just don't have the front line for him, and that's why he's never there by the end of the season.
Well, that's what happens when you hire a turnstile.
Yeah.
Even a turnstile jams up every now and then.
Right? It gets stuck every once in a while, right? But yeah, the Jaguars are just.
I think the biggest person relieved right now is John, because then the Kansas City doesn't have to worry about the Bengals,
right?
This year, anyways. No
shit.
A little bit of a relief.
Their kryptonite has been defanged for the rest of the year. Yeah, no shit. Actually, their kryptonite is what hurt his wrist. Yeah, that's their kryptonite is that dude right there. Yeah, I'm sure the Chiefs fans are happy that team is on its way out. But let's go ahead. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Do you want to get your playoff machine out at this point, or do you want to look at the rankings?
While I'm pulling it up, you can. I have it here, but hang on.
I mean, we can do the standings. It's fine. Let's do that first, and then we'll play with the playoff machine. Let's see. First up, let's take a look. Of course, we've got. You know what? I'm not going to look at. We all know who the friggin' leaders are. Let's look at the conferences. Yeah. You've got all the divisions jammed up. Yeah, sure. I always forget to do that when I get to this screen here. Let's get. I just want to see if I can get the conference. Yeah, the conference records is there. Okay, so you've got 9-3 Ravens on a bye, and then you've got Chiefs.
3 of their losses to AFC teams is pretty big.
Yeah, it is. The conference record. That's why I wanted to have the conference record in here.
Mm.
The best conference record so far is the Chiefs. They've only lost one,
and they're gonna drop because of it. This week they will drop to third because of if both Chiefs and Jaguars win, and the Dolphins, they'll drop to fourth.
They'll drop all the way to third. They sure as hell will.
No, fourth, because if the Dolphins win, Jags and Chiefs win, they all have better conference records, and the Ravens will drop to fourth.
What is this? Anyone else think having 3 above average quarterbacks is it now a real option due to injuries, etc.? Is it viable to just say all 3 of our guys are okay, so we'll be okay even if the number 1 quarterback is hurt? Well,
I mean, you have really 90 something, number 1 QBs in the NFL? No,
we don't.
No.
I was fixing to make the same point. With 32 teams in the league now, you might have been able to pull that off when there was 26 teams in the league. There are 32 now. Though, if there's one position that's more watered down than any in the NFL, it's the quarterback position. Hell, there's a lot of teams that don't even have a starting quarterback that's worth a shit. Okay.
Yeah. And
i.e. New England Patriots. Just look at them. They're struggling without a quarterback.
And it's not like you could just plug and play any quarterback into any offense.
No,
you have to have ones that work with your system. You're not going to put Lamar Jackson and in the Lions offense or something like that. It's just it's not how it works. It has to be built around that quarterback and quarterbacks that are like him. So no, it can't. You would want to have guys that can fit your scheme, and then the best guy that could do it, sure. But it's not realistic to have 3 guys that are exact same level on the same team and not have another team pick them off and trade for them or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Not in this day and age.
First of all, it's too much money. It's too much money.
That'd be the absolutely.
You
have to pay all 3 of them.
You wouldn't be able to pay your line. You wouldn't be able to pay your defense. Mm-hmm. It would be all wrapped up in your quarterback position. Okay, so let's look at the 3 teams coming into today that are the wild cards. It's the Browns, the Colts, and the Texans. Now, when you look at their record conference-wise, yeah, man.
The
Texans are on a dangerous high wire there. They're even when it comes to their conference record. Broncos beat them today. They're 4-4, and they actually they'd be behind the Broncos. You would leapfrog them. You would.
Because we'd have more victories,
Yeah, you'd have more victories. That would be the thing that would get the percentage up for you. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a huge game right there, man. That's why I said that's a playoff game today. It is.
The loss to the Lions would not be as big a thing as this loss today.
Buffalo has lost way too many fucking conference games. They have lost 5 conference games. Mm-hmm. They can't afford another loss, and they're going to have a couple. I think they are. But the Bengals, no shot. Raiders, no shot. I think it's these teams with 6 wins, and the 7-win teams. The 7 and 6 win teams, I think, are going to be vying for it. It's going to be interesting to see. And when we look at the playoff machine, if you've never seen it before, we'll plug in some things and see what happens. But the Broncos are looking good, man. They are. I think the Browns and the Steelers can stand pat, but boy, those Colts, you really need the Titans, man. You got to start rooting against this team right here.
I know the Browns. I mean, yeah,
you'll have an even conference record with them. If no, that's a conference game. They'll be one up on you. Damn it. Yeah, you need these guys to start losing, dude. You really do. But if the Browns could easily dump the rest of the season with their quarterback position being the way it is, they could easily do it. I don't know.
It doesn't matter how good your defense is if your offense.
This is the team I don't think is going anywhere. I think they're going to hang on to that spot all the way down the stretch. I really think the Steelers are going to be there. I think you've got to hope to leapfrog one of these right here. So, yeah, big game right there today. That's going to be fun.
I mean, look at the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Next couple games, Cardinals and Patriots. Right, they got that pretty hand, but they got the Colts coming up here. So that's going to matter a lot.
Week 15.
And then you got the
2 weeks from now.
Bengals. Then you got the Seahawks and end with the Ravens. So there's a couple chances to lose there, but there's definitely some supposedly easy games in there too. So
yeah.
Well, I can tell you this, pal.
That's what I'm saying. Like 10 wins, man. 10 wins.
You see this game right here? You see this one right here in week 17? Trust me, those guys are not going to want to lose that game, and they're playing in Seattle. They are not
as big a deal. Not
game.
a conference game. Not as big a deal for
every time we've played the Pittsburgh Steelers since we lost that Super Bowl to them. Dude, we take that game seriously. Trust me. But anyway, let's go down here to the NFC, where we've got 3 teams really. And you know what's funny? The Lions, as good as they've done, after the chinks in the armor we've seen, it looks like the same old Lions. It looks like starting off fast, fading down the stretch, just like they always do when they're doing well. I put more stock in this team that's at top of the wild card window.
Yeah, they got that locked down.
Those guys, they've got that locked down. They're not going anywhere.
Has that wild card spot locked down. It's just depending on who's going to win the division.
Yeah, the Falcons. Look, we don't even know who's going to win this division. They're all within a game of each other.
This is the reason why people don't like divisions, is because the divisions like the NFC South this year, and the past couple of years, really. It's why people are saying, "Yeah, we shouldn't have the Falcons hosting a Cowboys or whoever team, kind of deal." But
call me old school, but I don't care.
I don't either. That's the thing. If you look at the record of 8-8 and 7-9 and whatever teams, all you gotta do is just go to one particular game.
I remember an unstoppable Saints.
I was about to bring it up. You stole my thunder. Thank you very much.
Baby, go ahead. Tell them.
It's ruined. It's ruined. No, all you have to do is look at one particular play, and that is the greatest run you'll probably ever see
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs against the Super Bowl defending champions Saints, and Marshawn Lynch running all over that defense.
Dude, he saved our bacon that day. He did, because Drew Brees had thrown 2 touchdown passes in no time flat, bringing that team back. And
now, I'm not saying the Falcons are it, but I'm just saying when you get to the playoffs, it's 0-0.
It's 0-0. Throw out the records. We're done.
Anyone can win.
Made it to the dance. It's who's playing hot in January. That's what matters.
Historically, if you look back at the games of below average teams that have made it, they've won the first week at least.
Yep.
For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
The last exception being the Washington,
you've got the Cowboys at 9-3. And then you've got the Vikings and the Seahawks. We're hanging on, but the bottom rung. But I think we're going to get knocked off of it today. The Packers won't shoot past us.
It's the Rams.
They might.
The Rams you got to worry about.
Yeah, it's the Rams. But the Green Bay Packers will leapfrog us because they've got one less loss than us. So they will leapfrog us for that 7th spot.
If they beat the Chiefs, but
if they beat the Chiefs,
but that's not going to happen. It's not a conference.
But yeah, the Rams. Yeah, this is the team I got to worry about because we'll be equal and they'll have the tiebreaker, so they'll leapfrog us on that one. The South, I'm not even worried about. Really not. The Seahawks are going to get back to winning, but my God, we're in the middle of a murderer's row right now. I don't think we're going to win next week either. I mean, I really, I got to hope for a tie and as many injuries as possible in the fucking Eagles-Niners game because we got to play them next week. We played them 2 weeks ago, got Dallas, and then we got them again. I hate it when the fucking schedule makers do that. Make you play a division rival 2 out of 3 weeks in a row. You know what I mean?
I always thought that was silly. I never cared for that.
Fucking shitty's what it is, sons of bitches. Anyway, we're going to end up 6-7 before this stretch is over with because I don't think we're going to beat the Niners. And then after that, We'll see what happens. But Cowboys got that on lock. I really think down the stretch, it may be the Rams and us, because I think really, yeah, we're going to lose some games, but I think the Vikings are going to lose more. That's what I think. And I don't think the Packers are going to overtake us. So that's what I think. I think the Vikings drop out, Rams move in, and the West sends 3 teams to the playoffs. That's what I think. So anyway, so your playoff machine, you got it ready to go?
Yeah. We'll have to super speed through the picks, but
yeah, that's cool.
Depends on how you want to do it.
Yeah. Since
so this seating,
I mean, was John, were you around for this last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you go ahead and go first. Go ahead and go first. You can make the picks. This is if it started today, right?
Yes. Right now, it's got the first pick of the first game, but then you select what you want.
Okay.
Okay. For week 13, we already did those. So, yeah, I forgot who I picked now. Obviously,
that's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
I picked Patriots.
Yeah, he picked the Patriots in that one.
I picked the Steelers.
I
picked the Colts.
Yeah, he picked the Colts.
I picked the Texans. Lions. Falcons. Miami.
Dolphins.
Bucks.
Yeah, he picked Bucks. You're the only one to pick the Panthers.
Yep.
Niners. He took Niners.
Took the Niners. I took
Browns, right?
Yeah, I took the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs.
Green Bay. No, I'm kidding.
And I took the Jags. Yeah.
So the way he's got it shaken out, it didn't change. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Big.
Well, yeah, there it is.
Surprise.
Big fucking surprise. We're going through Arrowhead again.
But you can see here, the Ravens drop all the way to 4 seed.
4 seed, yeah. That's how good the AFC is, man. Damn. They're loaded at the top, dude. They really are. Wow. Hate it for you Atlanta fans. Holy fuck. You're going to get smashed. Because basically Dallas is a dome team now. Yeah. They are. And they're going to another dome. Fuck. They'll smash that team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And look at the Seattle. Oh, man. I feel bad for Seattle.
Yeah, you should feel bad for Seattle. We're going to get fucking swept by them this year.
And Minnesota should feel pretty good about Detroit.
Right. See, that's the thing I don't think is going to happen right there. I don't think that's happening. So, okay. You want to do yours next or you want to do mine?
You do yours.
Okay.
All
right. I picked Dallas, which, doesn't matter. Picked the Chargers. I had the Steelers. I had the Colts. I had Broncos. I had Lions. I had Falcons. Dolphins. Bucks. Niners. No. Eagles. I had the Eagles. I was the one guy that went with the Eagles. Rams. I'll take the dog. Chiefs. And Jaguars. And look at that. Mine looks a little different. The AFC looks exactly the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
But check out my AFC pictures. My Seahawks are not there. My Seahawks, that's what I'm saying. They're going to leapfrog me if they win today. Oh, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit.
That would be a story.
That could be rough for the fucking Detroit Lions right there.
And still, the Dirty Birds.
Oh, yeah, the Dirty Birds taken on the chin by the fucking Cowboys, no doubt. Yep. All right, let's see yours, bro.
Okay, so we got Chargers. I think I did the Steelers in this one. This wasn't my upset pick. It was the Panthers. So I'm going to Colts, Broncos, Lions, Falcons, Dolphins. Panthers was my upset. And then 49. I guess this would be an upset too, I guess.
No.
And then Rams.
No, actually, they're a 3-point favorite. The Niners are.
Yeah.
The fucking Eagles are
gotcha.
a dog. Okay. They've lost one game this year, and they're a 3-point dog. Can you believe that
Okay.
shit?
Oh, and look,
Unbelievable.
the Chiefs are back to number 1
And
seed
look,
again.
the AFC
Yeah,
picture
I think we all chose. Yeah, we all
It has
chose
not changed yet.
Yeah, we all chose
But
the
your
division winner.
playoff picture looks just like mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got. Yeah, pretty much. Just yeah, except for the 49ers
Admiral Teague
and
says, "Hey
Lions
everybody,
flop.
please take a moment to hit the like and follow buttons for my NFL therapists." Yeah, that's right. Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
that,
I
bud.
appreciate it,
Thanks,
there,
Teague.
buddy. Thanks.
So yeah,
Teague's one of the greatest, by the way. He has the greatest avatar in all of YouTube. It's it's Commodore Decker trying to get it together while Captain Kirk is questioning him about what happened to his crew. It's awesome. In the greatest Star Trek episode ever. Yes, it's awesome. Anyway, go ahead, bud.
No, but with this ranking, Atlanta goes ahead by a game, because New Orleans, I think most of us are picking them to lose.
Yeah.
Against the Lions, so they would at least get a little breathing room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but mostly for this week at least, they're pretty.
I like
pretty
John's
similar.
picture better. I really do, because it puts my Seahawks in there. But anyway, okay. Thanks a lot for that, man. Well, listen, that's that is going to do it for this week. We do have a couple of games to talk about before we see each other.
We don't need to discuss that Thursday night game.
We don't. Is it bad?
God,
is it super bad, man? Hang on,
bad.
let's go. Let's
it's
see.
pretty fucking
Is
bad.
it bad? Okay. Oh,
Patriots, Steelers.
Oh, Jesus.
It's pretty fucking bad.
But you know who it's not bad for? You know who it's not bad for? It's not bad for Pittsburgh Steelers fans, because how many times did we beat them on our way to the Super Bowl? You know, early in Brady's career. I know he beat them twice to get there. So yeah, you Pittsburgh fans, enjoy that comeuppance you're going to give the Patriots this time around. Everyone mentions the avatar. I guess I did all right on that one. Dude, it's the perfect screenshot. It's awesome. Let's see. Great stream, guys. Thanks for Herod's heads up on today's NFL action. No problem, brother. And then, yeah, that's the only one we got to worry about is that one right there is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. I can call it right now. The Patriots are going to look like shit again. They're going to get beat by the Steelers. Yeah, so that's enough about that game. Anybody else want to say anything about this game?
No, I got Steelers.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's ugliness. It is completely.
It's just going to be a bad game. It's going to be like
a bad game.
That's when you talk about 3-2 games, like that's a possibility here.
So don't forget, guys, your top 4 teams. It looks like the matchups are going to be the number 1 Michigan Wolverines against the number 4 Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama Crimson Tide, number 4. That just sounds weird, doesn't it? And then the other playoff game is going to be number 2 Washington Huskies versus the number 3 Texas Longhorns. About to take that step into the SEC. So
January 1st is the date, by the way.
Yeah.
It is the Rose Bowl, and it's the All-State Sugar Bowl for the Washington and Texas.
Yeah, like I said, I thought that was it. What'd you say the other bowl is? The Michigan?
You thought it was going to be orange, but no,
I said. You said sugar. Okay.
Yeah, it's the Sugar Bowl.
Okay.
It's the Rose Bowl for the Michigan.
Rose Bowl for Michigan. Yeah, that sounds about right. They always send a Big Ten team to the Rose Bowl, and it's usually against like SC, that Pac-12 team. You know what I mean? But since it's part of the playoff now, it's whoever it ends up being. And this time around,
they rotate them. They rotate them now. They rotate the bowls, so it's never the same for those.
So, is the national championship going to be the Fiesta Bowl? Because I thought
I don't think it's technically a bowl anymore. So you have the it's the New Year's bowls, and then you have the 6 bowls or the 5 bowls, right? No, 3 bowls, 3 bowls that are the playoffs, and then no shit. No,
you're right. Bowls. It's 3.
It's 2 bowls. No, I think the last game isn't a bowl. I think it's just the championship game.
Yeah, it's just a championship game.
And then you have the 2 bowls that are the semifinals, and you have the remaining 4 are the remaining New Year's bowls that are the best teams get that one, including a group of 5.
I know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about whenever they use the AP poll and stuff like that before there was even a playoff.
Yeah,
it was a bowl game. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So now
this is why the NCAA championship is more irritating than exciting, arbitrary, and ever changing. But we're gonna have
it's changing big time.
It's changing big time next year, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be fucking awesome. 12 teams playing off against each other. Yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm actually going to watch that shit for a change. I really am. That's going to be awesome. Okay.
I'm curious what the scheduling is going to be like for that too.
Yeah, it's going to.
They'll get to start it sooner because this is almost a full month away, which I think it's just ridiculous. But
with that many playoffs, that many rounds, you've got to go from 12 to 6. It's 1 week.
Right, but I'm talking about like right now.
Huh?
I'm talking about like right now. It's a month away. I know it's going to be different next year, but I think right now the whole 1 month from the games is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're not playing for a whole month.
The thing that's going to be weird is when you go from 6 to 3. That's going to be weird.
Who gets the bye?
That's going to be
first and second team.
It's going to be the rankings. It's going to be the rankings, because they're going to have to probably redo the rankings each week, I would think.
I think the committee's going to do it. So the way that the committee does it, right, and I think it's going to apply next year as well. The way they do it is they say, okay, what are the top 25 teams? And then once they figure out the top 25, they go, who is the top 6 teams, right? Mm-hmm. And then once they figure out the top 6 teams as a committee, they decide who the top 6 are. They throw away the other ones, and then they go by, okay, what's number 1, what's number 2, what's number 3, and then once they've picked that selection, they go, okay, what are the top remaining 25 teams? And they work their way down. That's how they've been doing this committee.
Yeah.
So it's going to apply next year too. They're going to take the top.
Well, what I'm thinking is
go by 6s.
What I'm thinking is this: if they make their 12 seeds, right? We get the 1 through 12. Are they going to reevaluate on how they do during those games? From one week to the next?
No. Because March, no, absolutely not. March Madness would be a whole different ballgame if they did that. They're not going to do that.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. No, that would be silly. That would be too much.
Gotcha.
Logistically, you pick what you got at the beginning. Because
that's what. Yeah, Teague. That's what they're doing next year. I guess you didn't know that. Yes, they're doing 12 teams next year. So we're talking 4 weeks of playoffs, a month. So they'll have to start it right after the Army Navy game. They'll have to.
Absolutely. Yeah. All the other bowl games are going. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
Right. Because you go from 12 to 6 the first week. You go from 6 to 3 the next week. Then you've got your playoff between the 2 and 3, right? And then you're going to have the national championship. That's 4 weeks. That's a month worth of playoffs. Yeah, so they're going to have to start it then. Okay, boys and girls, we're up against the clock. I want to thank all of you for being here. Let you know what's going on with the channel. You know you're watching NFL Pregame Party. We do it every week at 10 a.m. Central Time. Knox College Football Report and all the NFL games on the slate. And we do it 2 hours before kickoff of your afternoon slate of games. And then on Monday, my busiest day of the week. Well, actually, it used to be because I did a video game stream. And I will be back to that after the beginning of the year, probably the end of January when I get back to playing Couture. But we've got the Thin Red Line on Military Monday.
We got Tora.
Tora. Why did he change it?
Because of Pearl Harbor Day.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Military Monday is this Monday, and we're going to do Tora because it's December 7th coming up, Pearl Harbor Day. On Military Monday, Morning Coffee with Gary on Pop Culture Minefield at 10 a.m. Central Time on Monday. And then we're off this Monday on It's Only Talk and Roll on That 70s Rock Fans channel, but it usually starts at 4 p.m. Central Time. If you didn't see the Cannon Film Club get together and talk about Delta Force, go check that out. It was a lot of fun. I start my streaming week on Tuesday nights, and this week we're doing it with Wet. Think Quentin Tarantino meets The Matrix, because there's a lot of bullet time play with a hot chick in leather named Ruby Malone on Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails at 10 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday. Then Wednesday morning, I'll be hanging out with John. Are we doing the Expanse, or you doing something else?
I'm going to do something else. I haven't figured out yet. I wasn't able to get the Expanse this month, so it's got to wait till next month.
All right. Well, you should do Starfield. People love that game, dude.
I'll go back to Starfield, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever he decides to play, it's going to be at 10 a.m. Wednesday morning coffee with John on Pop Culture Minefields channel. And then that afternoon, it's the first show of December. We're going to line up all the Christmas movies coming out and all that good stuff for you on State of the Atmosphere. And will any of these movies, Wonka, Silent Night, Aquaman 2, will any of them do as well as Godzilla -1? We'll see, and we'll talk about it this Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time on my channel. And then, of course, the Brothers Hack the Matrix comes your way Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. We are back together again now that Thanksgiving and the Dallas Cowboys Seahawks game is over with. We'll be back to doing it at 6 p.m. Central Time on Thursdays. And then later on that night at 10 p.m. Central Time, I'm playing Madden for sure on Papa Joe Gamer After Dark. I just don't know if I'm going to be playing. I have a friend that's a streamer that is talking to me about playing, but I haven't heard back from him. Hopefully I'll be playing him. If not, I'll be bouncing between Madden 15 and 22 like I usually do. I've got a bunch of Super Bowls stacked up to play, and that starts at 10 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. And then Friday morning, it's Baldur's Gate with Morning Coffee with John on Pop Culture Minefields channel. Definitely want to check that out. That Baldur's Gate I want to get. I'm hoping to get that for Christmas from Foxy, because I really enjoyed what I'm seeing out of the game, and I'm going to play it a whole lot different than John. Let me tell you, my harem, I'm going to have fun with them. Anyway, and then, of course, on Saturday, you can watch Sketching the Privateer, where I do my comic book for an hour. So you guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Let's check the chat one more time. Like I said, I have been actively disregarding the NCAA championship for years. This new 12-team system sounds at least appealing. And he also says Tora is a great movie because the Star Trek guy did the music. All hail Jerry Goldsmith. Yeah, Jerry Goldsmith's a great. I think my favorite one he ever did was Logan's Run. I could listen to that all day long. That was a really cool soundtrack he did for that movie. Okay, you guys, be sure to like, subscribe, comment on our thoughts on the games or on the national championship picture, all that stuff, and go give us follows over on Rumble. Okay, those of you over there, and we want to thank you for being here. And until we see you guys again, I want you to keep on keeping on. God bless.